So you've been here before, 3 years ago, and now you are here with solo project. What has changed during those 3 years?
What has changed? Well, you know, musically, Blue King Brown is the band that I was here with, and Blue King Brown is still going strong. We released an album since then called Born Free, and then I got inspired to move to Jamaica and really focus on creating music and working with musicians and producers that come from the place where the music I love so much comes from. So for me it was important to go and really be in the community and just, you know, like have that experience, and really it was a strong collaboration and a strong relationship between myself and Notice, which is a drum and bass duo and production team. And we had met in Australia when the drummer Unga Barunga was playing for Jimmy Cliff. And that night we met, we wrote and recorded Rebel Love, the first single, with Jimmy's band, basically, who the keyboard player is with me now, Stephen Maxwell. The percussionist is my drummer now. It was a really amazing night. Zugu was there singing his first song, Zugu Dan, and yeah. So basically, that was a song that sparked the idea to do a broader collaboration with Notice, which is why I moved to Jamaica to try and you know, just keep evolving as a musician and an artist.
So what is it that your own solo career can give you that you cannot have with the Blue King Brown?
Well, it's more, I think, you know, to me it's the same mission, you know, on a bigger picture scale, it's the same mission. It's music, it's life, it's consciousness, it's using music as a platform to, you know, amplify the great awakening that's happening around the planet. And it's also, you know, I mean, the differences are, you will see and hear are obvious, you know, like I'm playing with a Jamaican band and you can't play reggae like Jamaicans. No one can play reggae like Jamaican, you know what I mean? So in that sense, you hear the difference. But like I said, you know, the spirit and the intention behind it is the same. And same with this NATTALI band. They're soldiers and they're really, you know, behind the mission, they're in it, you know. It's 5 of us, 5-piece that have been representing across Europe. It's our first tour here and in Australia, Japan and the US where we've just been. So, you know, we're building.
Yeah, you kind of anticipated my next question because I was going to ask that if the same material that you recorded in Jamaica could have been possibly recorded in Australia, but I guess the answer is not really.
No, not really. It's just different, you know, and both are great, yeah, and the different, you know, Jamaica's great that in Kingston you have access to so many incredible musicians, you know, and lots of people are just thereabout. And you can call someone and say, I need a guitarist or I need a this or that, and incredible musicians just can come down. And so it's really great like that. The community, musical community and musical energy is just alive and thriving and really supportive of each other, you know, which is what I really love as well. And in Australia, it's the same, but Australia is more spread out. Like the community is more spread out. It's a big country. It's a small population for a big country, and the reggae scene in Australia isn't very big. So that's another reason why people from Australia go abroad to, you know, embed in reggae culture.
And you also record with the artists who play in the movement like New Wave Jamaica conscious, yeah? So-called, yeah. And yeah, you also probably answered this question, but yeah, we are curious if you already feel like a part of it, of this movement, or despite you are from Australia and you are not from Jamaica.
Well, you know, you're talking about the Reggae Revival?
Yeah.
Well, I think when people talk about the revival, they're pretty much talking about Jamaican artists, so I wouldn't call myself part of that. What I am a part of is the resurgence of conscious music around the world, whether it's coming out of Jamaica, America, Europe, wherever that conscious community is starting to really thrive and come forth in whatever style of art that they are inspired to create. That's the community and the uprising that I'm a part of. Yeah.
So you mentioned that the Looking Brown as a band, you're still active, but just to ensure your fans of Looking Brown, because sometimes if you give yourself into the something new, you also lose something. So aren't you afraid that your engagement in Jamaica would affect, for example, your involvement in Australia, or for example things that you were fighting for before? Remember our long talk about indigenous people's rights, for example, in Australia.
No. Basically no. I mean, you know, like I'm going back to Australia. Blue King Brown have shows October, November, December. The album is still doing well, Born Free, and you know, I'm playing 1 or 2 songs of Born Free in the NATTALI RIZE set. And I think people are getting to know, you know, my focus right now is the NATTALI RIZE project. But also Blue King Brown will never go away, because it's a very important group of people and it's a very important voice in Australia, and so it's not going to end, you know. It will always be there, and we'll always be ready to be there for the people, you know. And but that's me as well, you know, like whatever project I'm doing is, like I said, it's the same mission, it's the same movement, just different branches of it. So you never know, I might start a Polish folk band one day, you know. Who knows?
That could be great, actually.
Okay. According to collaborations, because maybe one day you will have some collaborations with Polish artists.
Yeah, we just heard.
But you had one collaboration with Kabaka Pyramid, and you prepared the video to the Generation Will Rise. And I just wanted to ask, how do you recall the process of recording it, and what was the experience? How do you...
Okay, so Generations Will Rise was me and Unga Barunga in the studio. We spent many, many hours together writing, and this was a really natural progression that came. And it was one of the quick ones, like where he started playing some chords, and I was just like in the background, just going, generations will rise, will. And then soon it was generations will rise, governments they will fall. And Unga looked at me like, whoa, some serious lyrics. I was like, yeah, you know, and it flowed from there. And to be honest, we were looking for somebody to collaborate in the song for a while, you know, amongst all the other songs we were doing. It was sitting there for a minute. And I was searching out some artists, you know, not necessarily Jamaican, but just searching in my head and my mind and my heart for the right voice. Then I went and saw Kabaka perform for the first time in Kingston at a concert he did there. And afterwards I was just like, that's the guy. That's the guy for Generations Will Rise. And so, yeah, Unga called him up. They've done work together, obviously, and he came into Tough Gong one night, and that was the night that I met Kabaka, and he recorded his verse, and it sounded wicked, like as you can hear. And we had a really good connection. We still have a really good connection, and we ended up writing a few songs that night, actually. But so you can stay tuned to more from us. But yeah, it was a really great vibe, and the video is same way, you know, just. You know, the guitarist, One Rebel in NATTALI RIZE, is also the bass player in Blue King Brown. He's also the guy that does a lot of the filming. He does everything. He's very talented. You know, he's crazy talented. And so he shot most of that video for Generations Will Rise as well, and edited a good portion of it as well. So yeah, that's always been, but that's what I love about Jamaica and working with Jamaican artists also, is that everything's very quick. You get stuff done, you know. If you want something done, you want a verse, and you get the right person, the right vibe, verses are just done. Like, I'm slower than that, but you know, I'm learning. So it's good to be around.
So right now you're recording on Jamaica you're playing on a big stages, but from what we read, you started as a street artist. Is it? So do you have any advice that you can give for artists at the beginning of their career to end up maybe in Jamaica recording their albums?
Yeah, you know, it's just it's vision and focus, and you have to be real about the fact that it's not easy, you know. And for me, being a street performer was really taught me about independence and being my own boss and my own artist. You have to put on your own show, promote yourself, sell your own product, make your own product, and then, you know, be the artist as well. So you're literally your manager, you're the artist, you're the promoter, you're the booking agent, everything. And so, but you're also really face to face with people, which I love. And so that taught me a lot about just not waiting for like some magic person or some magic record label to come around and just go, I'll make you a star. It's not really like that, you know. So, and I think people these days understand that, you know. A lot of people have access to a whole much more technology that can project them into the world. So the other thing I say to newer artists working their way up is just really, it's about relationships. Work with good people that you intuitively feel like you're on the same wavelength, because you have to have the same goals and vision. It makes it takes a team to push any one person or a group. It's the energy behind, around, in and out and without it. So it's really about, once you have a good crew of people, then you're really unstoppable, you know. So yeah.
From what you said about your street performance, it sounds like you haven't started your solo career now, you came back to the solo career that you had before performing.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not a new experience then, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that the part of building relationships is like also speaking the same language. And I wrote that you are passionate about languages, and I wanted to ask if you have prepared something for a Polish audience today.
There was something 3 years ago, I remember. So.
Well, when is this going to? This is live?
This is live.
I may have prepared something small.
Something small.
Yes.
Okay, so did you have any other other language which was the biggest challenge than Polish?
You know, I think Polish and Slovak, similar. I haven't been to other countries where it's been a challenge. But I love the challenge. Like the challenge, I like it. Like when I remember coming and learning the Polish 3 years ago, and I was just like, wow. My mouth never gets to even be in this position, but I love it. Yeah, so, but definitely makes me see, yeah, it's interesting. I love languages, you know. I just love it. It's so interesting to me, the different languages, and how the countries in Europe are so close and have such different cultures. And can I say that one of my favorite bands in the world comes from Poland. Their name is Dikanda.
Oh, the folk band.
Yes.
So that's why you said maybe you want to collaborate with them.
I love Dikanda. I met them years ago in Linz festival, busking festivals around Austria, and I was playing drums on the street busking, and they were doing theirs, and we just like connected like family. I haven't seen them for years. I keep hoping that they'll show up at Ostróda one year, but maybe next year I'll invite them. Anya is the most amazing singer. Like I love the music so much.
And they're playing around in Poland in 2 weeks, yeah. So if you have time.
So maybe
Unfortunately.
I'm gonna miss them.
longer.
No, that's nice. I love this band too.
Yes. It's amazing.
I love them.
We have a quite good folk scene, I would say. So you try to discover something more because it's really worth it. Okay. Anything more?
I would just wanted to ask for your plans for that. Like you just said that you are going to give some concerts with Bill Kings Brown soon. And do you have any other plans, or I don't know?
Yeah, I think,
for
okay,
the
so
rest
what's
of the
coming
year?
up is finishing my NATTALI RIZE album, and that's looking at coming out early next year. So I hope to be back out here. We hope to be back out in Europe next year, first half of the year, and hopefully for summer again. And yeah, both NATTALI RIZE and Blue King Brown have shows in Australia before the end of the year. And so basically we're just, as soon as I get to Australia this time, is just finishing the album and getting that ready for the planet. And back on the road, you know. So that's, yeah, we just keep the mission rolling forward. Yeah, it's a mission, and we're honored and blessed to be able to be voices, you know, for ourselves and for the people, and traveling and playing festivals like this really open our eyes to how it is in these places. There's no other greater experience than being on the ground talking to the people from a place, you know, and you learn a lot as a human being and as just an energy. So yeah, thanks for sharing some energy.
Thank you.
Thank
So that will be it. Thank you very much. And we're looking forward to see you again for the show now, and
Great.
for see you again
In Poland.
In Poland.
Collaboration with Dikanta.
with Dikanda.
Yes, ready.
That would be awesome. Okay.